Look at that poll, Vinny. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Do your thing.
What late night show do you watch? 1,800 voters.
Good for you guys.
96% said none.
Yeah.
2% Fallon. 1% Kimmel. 1% Colbert. Oh my God.
I'm so proud of every single one of you. Good for you. Don't give them any energy because it's not comedy. It's propaganda. They're all getting paid to do what they're doing. They're not about making people laugh anymore. It's just an agenda. I'm sick and tired of it. Let's just talk about these people. Jimmy Kimmel, who is one of the most unfunniest people on the planet. He's labeled as a stand-up comedian. Who's ever watched Jimmy Kimmel? Have any of you guys seen his special? Anybody?
Imagine Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David teaming up like a tag team of truth-slinging heavyweights, with Jimmy Kimmel playing the unfortunate role of the unlucky piñata. But this isn't your average late-night roast. This is a verbal demolition derby. The punches come hard and fast. The takedowns are ruthless. And Kimmel, let's just say he didn't walk away unscathed. This is a showdown packed with savage comebacks and jaw-dropping moments you never saw coming.
Oh, what they saw. They saw what we saw. They saw the frail elderly man who needed help getting off the stage. They're just too chicken shit to tell us about it, because they accurately deduce that he could still be the Democratic nominee, and they don't want to ding him up. Maybe you give Barbara a pass. Who gives a damn what this singer saw or says? But you know what? Jimmy Kimmel happens to be employed by ABC, which happens to have a rather large news organization. And he has been one of President Trump's most vocal critics. Where are you, Jimmy? On vacation? Not good enough. You can still use your thumbs to send out a tweet. You could set the record straight right now, but you won't.
Jimmy Kimmel Late Nights, king of lukewarm satire. His jokes land with all the subtlety of a foghorn in a library, somehow managing to be both painfully predictable and aggressively average. He swings at political targets like a toddler, on a sugar high, mistaking slapstick for sharp insight. It's satire in name only, masking shallow jabs as social commentary.
Not hysterical. I laugh when people say, oh, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. If you're a reasonable person, you should have Trump derangement syndrome. And by the way, I think he has derangement syndrome about us, too. The fact of the matter is, this is a dangerous person. This is a stupid person. And that's a bad combination.
What a shame. What a shame that a late night show host that millions of people used to watch you, and they probably still do, but it's not as high as it used to be. And you just called the president.
Enter Megyn Kelly, known for cutting through spin like a hot knife through stale cable news. She's not here for polite applause or softball critiques. She calls Kimmel's comedy what it is, a bland cocktail of low-effort laughs and recycled punchlines. Think fast food for the brain, quick, greasy, and forgettable.
Then half of America voted for him. You just disrespected 51% of America? What a shame. It's unbelievably unattractive and not working. Your business model's not working. MSNBC's business model's not working. NBA is not working because they're disrespecting the customer. Who the hell are you, Jimmy? You have a job because of your customers. Capitalism will eventually fire you, unfortunately. For some.
First blow, calling out Kimmel's brand of humor as a party trick gone wrong. Instead of using his platform to elevate discourse or challenge real power, he aims low bathroom wall jokes dressed up as political critique. It's the comedic equivalent of microwaved leftovers. No flavor, no effort, just the same tired lines reheated for the umpteenth time.
Last night was the 96th Academy Awards show, and while you might have missed it, there was one clear winner. No, not Oppenheimer. It was sanctimonious leftists for their lead role in pretending they are better than you. Winner number one, Jimmy Kimmel. For the fourth time, Kimmel hosted the Oscars before an adoring crowd of Hollywood stars who laughed and curried favor with the man who wore blackface so many times. Yes, some of the very same celebrities who wanted you to believe they were horrified after yours truly said in 2018 that people used to don dark makeup in order to imitate well-known black celebrities, and it wasn't a big deal. Absolutely ate up the performance by Hollywood darling Mr. Kimmel, whose blackface costumes included his oft-repeated bit as basketball star Karl Malone.
Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he...
And don't even get Kelly started on the hypocrisy. Kimmel's comedy picks its battles like a kid playing dodgeball, ducking anything that might make waves in his Hollywood bubble. He punches down on easy targets while shielding others, like VIP guests at an exclusive roast. It's not edgy, it's safe, stale, and predictable. Kelly sees a missed opportunity. With a platform as massive as Kimmel's, he could be pushing boundaries, breaking echo chambers, and sparking real conversations. Instead, he hands out punchlines like Halloween candy sweet, safe, and entirely forgettable. Looking for a host who can entertain and enlighten? Keep looking. Kimmel's still recycling jokes about politicians from 2008.
Jimmy Kimmel. So, first of all, Robert Downey Jr., congratulations, he wins his first Oscars. Starts to joke, trying to be funny, and he says the following, just listen to this, and I just want you to tell me, if you, maybe I'm wrong, maybe my humor sucked. I didn't find anything funny about what the man said on how he changed his life on the night he was about to win his first Oscar.
This is the highest point of Robert Downey Jr.'s long and illustrious career. Well, one of the highest points.
Scumbag.
Maybe it's funny. I
Robert
don't find it
has been
funny at all.
No, it's
Now, he's
not.
playing it off.
Yeah, he's being a professional.
Was that too on the nose, or is that a drug motion you made?
Just keep going. Just keep going. Yeah, move on.
He's won every award there is to win. Is that an acceptance speech in your pocket, or do you just have a very rectangular?
Like,
He's acting.
What is-
He's acting, meaning he can't stand any of the jokes that are being said.
I don't know who labeled Jimmy Kimmel.
Now switch gears to Patrick Bet David Amon, who doesn't deal in fluff. Where Kimmel sidesteps depth, Patrick goes straight for the jugular. He sees Kimmel not just as a late-night comedian, but as a cultural influencer shaping how millions interpret politics and society, and that's where the problem lies. Patrick's main issue: Kimmel's comedy warps public perception. Satire should challenge authority and speak truth. But when it's built on cherry-picked facts and surface-level critiques, it morphs into propaganda wrapped in a punchline. The audience laughs, unaware. They're being fed a narrative dressed as entertainment. It's Kool-Aid with jokes instead of sugar. Worse, Patrick sees Kimmel wasting a massive opportunity. With his reach, he could be pushing viewers to think deeper, confront uncomfortable truths, and bridge divides. Instead, he leans on shallow humor that divides more than it unites. Kimmel's stage has the potential to be a platform for meaningful dialogue. Instead, it's just a ratings machine, carefully packaged, commercialized, and designed to sell ads, not stir minds.
Weeks. They had the Kennedy Center honors the other night where Joe Biden couldn't say Dionne Warwick. He kept calling her Diane, and he didn't know who Barry Gibb was. He kept calling him Billy. You know who else was honored? At the Kennedy Center. You know who else? Billy Crystal. Just FYI, do you know who once opened up the Academy Awards in full blackface?
Oh,
Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal. And do you know who's going to be hosting the Academy Awards this year? Jimmy Kimmel. Do you know who's worn blackface repeatedly and spoken inner city sort of urban accent saying she needs to darn those socks? Jimmy Kimmel as Oprah, as a fat-suited, black-faced, darning socks Oprah.
Authenticity? That's
And authenticity gets sacrificed on the altar of entertainment value. This is comedy as a business model. If a joke doesn't sell, it's cut faster than a TikTok trend past its prime. The result? Political satire that looks more like a circus. Bright lights, loud noise, but ultimately hollow. When you combine Megyn Kelly's no-nonsense journalistic eye with Patrick Bet David's sharp cultural analysis, a brutal picture emerges of Jimmy Kimmel's late-night empire. It's like watching a reality show that's mastered distraction but flunked substance. Kimmel's comedy trivializes serious issues, turning them into throwaway punchlines that don't stick but do spread division like confetti at a parade. His selective humor fuels echo chambers, comforting audiences in their biases instead of challenging them. And the great irony: while Kimmel positions himself as a champion of progressive comedy, his approach may be doing more harm than good in an already fractured culture.
Donald Trump broke him.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Oh my
For
God.
healthcare, for climate, for science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech. Yet,
Okay.
let's be honest.
These people are
Wait.
absolute
Let's
lunatics.
trap that. Bad night, you just don't know it yet. Let's look at that in a year. Let's look at that in 2 years. Let's see what's going on. Hell, let's look at that in 2 quarters after.
Meanwhile, the deeper, more nuanced conversations, the uncomfortable but necessary ones, end up on the cutting room floor. Step back and consider the combined force of Kelly's journalistic rigor and Bette David's strategic lens, and you start to see a pattern. Kimmel's comedy may seem like harmless late-night fun, but its impact is real and not in a good way. It's the kind of unintentional damage you get when someone sets off a glitter bomb in a library. Flashy, messy, and no one's happy. But the cleanup feels impossible. Kimmel's method treats serious issues like guest stars on a sitcom. Easy to mock, over the top, and forgotten before the next commercial break. Complex problems are reduced to shallow sound bites. Climate change. Cue a polar bear with a sunscreen joke. Healthcare. A crack about wait times that barely scratches the surface. It's like bringing a water pistol to a wildfire. It may cool things off for a second, but the blaze keeps burning.
Sunday morning show with Stephanopoulos into the evening Academy Awards broadcast with Kimmel and ABC elevating, the blackface lovin' Kimmel. They, at the same time, fired Chris Harrison, host of The Bachelor, for trying to defend one contestant on, The Bachelorette, for saying, gee, I know I went to this antebellum party, a couple years ago. I guess I didn't see anything wrong with it. And all he said was, are we judging her by today's standards, or are we judging her by old standards, whatever. He was basically trying to say, are we being too hard on her? Got fired. Chris Harrison has to be fired by ABC. I don't know why, because he's not a committed leftist, because he's not out there more saying all the terrible things about Republicans that Jimmy Kimmel says. So this is them saying, we get it. We're an ally, right? And I guess maybe they're trying to make up with their racist past, without...
This kind of comedic trivialization does more than provoke laughter. It reshapes how people feel about the very real issues being joked about. When everything is treated as a gag, the subliminal message is clear. None of it deserves serious attention, and that's dangerous. Comedy can be a powerful force for truth, but only when it dares to go deeper than the surface. With Kimmel, the party stays on the surface. Then there's the elephant in the studio audience, selective humor. Kelly wasn't exaggerating when she accused Kimmel of picking targets like a gambler choosing safe bets. The goal isn't challenge, it's comfort, the result. Comedy that inflates echo chambers, feeding confirmation bias like a pufferfish on Red Bull. Instead of sparking dialogue, Kimmel's show builds ideological walls that shut out dissent, nuance, and empathy.
Community that maybe has been having one too many drinks. The late night comedy spent shows 2024 bashing Trump as viewership continues to crash. Vinny, I'm coming to you on this one here, so get your data ready. Rob, I think you got a video on this. Late night comedy hosts like Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel focus heavily on Trump in 2024 with, ready, 98% of the 1,463 election-related jokes.
And those walls aren't just metaphors, they're real divisions slicing through friendships, families, and national discourse like a hot knife through pumpkin spice. Now imagine if Kimmel took a different approach. Imagine his stage as a platform that bridges divides rather than widening them. That's the opportunity Patrick Bet David points to. With millions tuning in nightly, Kimmel could challenge biases, confront hard truths, and encourage meaningful dialogue. But instead, he settles for comfort food comedy, safe, shallow, and ultimately numbing. His show isn't a space to think, it's a place to laugh instead of think. And in a time when society is already on edge, when polarization is at a fever pitch, that kind of entertainment doesn't calm the fire, it fans the flames. Kimmel's tone isn't let's understand each other, it's let's mock them harder. The laughs come easy, but they come at the cost of empathy and progress.
We'll tell you, he's not the worst. The Daily Show has the worst ratings. They only have 366,000 people watching that show. During the Jon Stewart years, it was over 2 million. Now it's down to 300,000. Seth Meyers, absolutely dreadful. He doesn't even have 1 million, 778,000. I mean, for network television, this is, you don't have to pay for it. It's there when you turn on your TV, you plug it in. That's a dreadful number. Greg Gutfeld on cable, which you do have to pay for, it has more than double the numbers of Seth Meyers. Jimmy Kimmel, 1.5 million, averaging.
This is where Kelly and Bet David's critiques overlap with laser precision. Entertainment, especially comedy, isn't neutral. It shapes public opinion, frames national conversations, and influences how society evolves. When that power is misused, whether through laziness, fear, or profit-driven calculation, it doesn't just fail to inform. It actively misleads. That's the bigger picture here. This isn't just about Jimmy Kimmel's punch, about the role media figures play in shaping the stories we tell about ourselves. Every joke, every skit, every segment contributes to a cultural narrative, And when that narrative is shallow, selective, or skewed, the public conversation suffers. In an age where misinformation spreads faster than truth and division runs deep, the last thing we need is another entertainer who deepens the divide under the guise of humor. We need comedy that punches up, not sideways, comedy that challenges, enlightens, and unites, not just distracts. Megyn Kelly and Patrick Bet-David aren't just roasting Kimmel for fun, they're issuing a warning. When comedy becomes a lazy tool that reinforces division and dismisses complexity, it fails not just as entertainment, but as a force for good. And in a world full of megaphones and platforms, that kind of failure isn't just a punchline. It's a missed opportunity to actually make things better.